Hi, I'm Holly Andrews, integrative nutrition health coach and stress recovery coach. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. Today I have a really wonderful breakfast. Continuing on our pear theme, pears are just gorgeous this time of year, so I wanted to do another recipe with pears. This time it is my warm pear and chia seed breakfast bake. So as always, I've crafted this recipe to be balanced, but also with those of you in mind who are dealing with stress, have a stressful job, have a stressful situation going on, or maybe you're trying to recover from stress and burnout and you're working on stabilizing your cortisol and getting that where it needs to be. And so this recipe is just chock full of wonderful ingredients that are going to help you do just that. So obviously we have pears as our base for this recipe. Now pears are lower on the glycemic index than most fruits, not as low as berries, but lower on the lower end. And they are just juicy and good, full of fiber, full of nutrients, and just prevalent this time of year. So I love using pears for that reason. We've also got chia seeds or basil seeds. So we've got chia seeds or basil seeds here. Both of them function the same way. I prefer using basil seeds, and I've talked about this on the channel before, but basil seeds have twice the amount of fiber, twice the amount of iron, twice the amount of magnesium, twice the amount of other vitamins and minerals than chia seeds do. And I buy mine off of Amazon. They're organic basil seeds from Zen Basil. And so that is what I used in my recipe today. But if you can't get a hold of those, then chia seeds are just fine. I just like having the double the fiber, especially from the basil seeds, but you're going to get a lot of fiber from either one of those. You're going to get some healthy fats. And so I love using those to really boost the fiber content of my meals, because fiber helps cleanse, helps clean out, helps move things along in our digestive system and throughout our body. So that is why I love having a high fiber content. Also, fiber is going to help support the longevity of our metabolism, meaning like it's going to help stabilize our blood sugar, give us those meals that we can eat and then not be starving an hour and a half later. We've also got ground flaxseed in this recipe. Another seed, this time ground, but I love using ground flax seeds because again, you're just adding more fiber and you're adding some really good omega-3s here in that flax seed. So again, supporting our gut health, supporting hormone balance. We've got more healthy fats and protein from almond flour and the eggs. That we've got 2 eggs in this recipe. Now on the blog post linked in the description below, I have given you some ideas in the recipe itself for boosting protein content. There's not a ton of protein in this recipe itself, but it is very easy to boost the protein content by pairing it with some like Greek yogurt or coconut yogurt or other types of things like that. So check out the blog post for those ideas. I've also given you some vegan swaps and other ideas that you can use for this recipe, so be sure and check those out on the blog post itself. But so we've got all kinds of goodness here. We've got cinnamon and nutmeg as well for spices, and of course we know that those stabilize blood sugar, which helps us stabilize our cortisol. So this is a very simple recipe to throw together, and so let's walk through it. So just like last week, the hardest thing that you have to do for this recipe is chop up your pears. Now I peeled my pears off camera and then chop them up into small bite-sized pieces and set them aside while I got everything else mixed together in my bowl. So I started off by whisking together my 2 eggs, my vanilla, my spices. I added just a splash of maple syrup. I didn't want to add too much sweetness, and so and my coconut milk, all of that together. Then I added in my almond flour, my flax seeds, and I added my basil seeds last, mixed that up, and then folded in my pears to that. Once I got that all folded together, I let it sit for about 10 minutes. And the reason I did this is because I wanted those basil seeds to start to absorb the liquid from the ingredients, from the coconut milk, from the eggs, all of that liquid that's in there. I wanted those basil seeds to start to absorb that before I put it into bake. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Some people say it doesn't matter if you let them sit there and absorb. I think it just depends on what kind of consistency you want. You'll have probably a little bit thicker, more even consistency if you let those basil seeds absorb some of that water before you stick it into bake, which is why I did that. So about 10 minutes, I let that sit and those basil seeds start to soak before I popped it into my 350-degree oven for 30 minutes. So again, super simple. I love having this recipe as a warm breakfast for these cold January mornings. Today, where I am and where I'm filming from, the temperature dropped from like 60 degrees when I left the house this morning to 40-something degrees outside, and it's just gonna get colder, and the wind chill is making it feel like it's in the 20s. So I know it is gonna be cold tomorrow morning, and I am gonna wake up and like reheat some of this breakfast bake for leftovers, serve it with some Greek yogurt, and have a really warming, grounding, filling breakfast that is just perfect for January. All right, so our breakfast bake is done. I'm not gonna take this out in an individual serving just yet. I let it cool for about 5 minutes so I could handle it to show you the result, but this is gonna be my breakfast tomorrow, so I'm just gonna portion it out in the morning. But there you go. It turned out great. The chia seeds look like they've done what they're supposed to do. It smells really good. That cinnamon and nutmeg together just make the house smell amazing. So I cannot wait to try this for breakfast in the morning, and I know you're gonna love it too. So as always, be sure to check out all of the ways that we can work together at my website. We've got lab testing for cortisol and other things. I've got my online course. I've got my online community. I have a digital course that you can do, as well as my one-on-one coaching program. My book is out there, so all kinds of ways. Go check that out. And of course, follow me on social media for all kinds of stress and burnout related tips and information. And until next time, I'm Holly Andrews, and I believe that you can heal your stress from the inside out.